In this module, we're going to get an understanding of all the mixing concepts and principles, balance, level and panning, grouping tracks better in organization, and then understanding and applying effects to enhance the mix. First thing we like to do if we're starting to mix is make sure that the sum of all the tracks isn't too loud. So each one of these volumes here is going to be contributing or adding together, summing together to make this final output here, which you're hearing out your outputs. Now, if we make each one of these loud and loud and loud, it's going to get too loud here. It's not going to make our plugins on our master chain sound very good. If we don't have any plugins on our master chain, it's going to distort, it's going to clip, and it's going to sound broken. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute all the audio effects master chain here. And what we're going to be trying to do is we're trying to get this down to about -6 to -3 dB. That's generally like an industry standard practice. It's not the rule, but it's just a good place to start. And that will ensure that all your audio coming to your master chain is going to be at a nice, healthy level, and it's not going to be driving the plugins and the audio effects too hard. So it's already, you can see here, this is the peak volume. So it's coming at -6.4. So that's all good. If it was too loud, what we would have to do is go over here and turn down the individual channels here. So it feels good, and I can just bring this one in. Great. Now what I can do, I can move things around the stereo image now with this panning dial. So that's basically the balance of how loud it is in this speaker and how loud it is in that speaker. So for example, here, this percussion. So if I solo that up, so I can maybe move that over into that speaker. You can hear that? Then move this percussion here, move over in there. So then when I bring the drums in, that leaves a bit of space in the middle. You hear that? I'll bring this in. So panning is just essentially moving things around a stereo image to give them their own little space. Now we can group tracks together as well. So I got quite a lot of drums here. So this. So what I can do is I can group them together. So I move this percussion over here, highlight the two tracks I like to group together or more, and press Command G. So what that does is now if you look at the output, it says audio 2 group. So now what I can do is I can just right perk and I can tuck it away. You get like kind of stripy clips here. So that visually is a good organization, but also it routes the audio through this so I can do group processing. So if I wanted to get one of my audio effects like the EQ, maybe put a filter on it. So just take out some of those lows and put that down to like 30. Hey, hope you're enjoying this video. If you'd like to dive deeper with Ableton Live, why not check out my Ableton Live full course? We not only cover all the awesome things Ableton Live can do, but we look at writing, producing a track from scratch. We then look at how we record vocals, mix it, and master it, ready for release. So if that's something you're interested in, click the links below. Anyway, thanks for watching so far, and let's get back to the video. And then maybe the channel EQ just to boost it up, boost the highs up a little bit. And maybe a little bit of compression. So I want to go 2 to 1, quick release, slow attack. I can now process them as a group, and I could do that on this drums here as well. Command G, rename drums, and do the same thing. So we get almost like mixing at a sub group level. And what that does is you attenuate the peaks here on the group stage. So then when you get to the master stage, this compressor and the limiter is not having to pull down as many peaks. So your sound's already kind of smooth. And when you get to the master, that's like the final polisher. Like it's already quite smooth. It's not a rough surface. You're just going over with a fine sandpaper just to bring out the smoothness. So that's where we now apply like what you call master chain. So it's like the finisher effects to enhance the overall volume. So I put utility on here just so I can check the mids and sides. Auto filter to cut the lows out. Channel EQ to boost the lows and the highs. Didn't need the EQ3. Then we got the compressor just to kind of attack the peaks. I like this on the master to 4 to 1, and then limiter. So we don't want it really working too hard, the limiter there. And that's -1, so it's going to ensure that nothing clips or goes above -1 dB. It's just a good practice to get into when you start converting it into a lower file format, such as an MP3. You're not going to get any digital artifacts come in, which is what we get onto next.